Okay, so today we'll continue to learn about 飲食物調理, food and drink preparations. Okay, so the first one we learn about 肉の下処理について about meat pre-processing. 赤身と脂身の間に筋は加熱により縮み、肉は反り返るので切れ目を入れます。So we will cut the sinew between the red meat and the fat. So as they shrink when heated, cause the meat to curd.Core means 縮み. Okay, the second one is 肉いただきで肉をいただき。形を整えて焼くと縮まず柔らかくなります。So we will pound the meat with the meat tenderizer. Then shape it before grilling. And it will prevent shrinking and make it tender. Okay, so that two things about meat processing. So the next one we will learn about 魚介類の下処理について about the seafood pre-processing. Okay, so we will follow 5 steps here. The first one is remove the scale. Number 2 is remove the gills, remove the internal organs. Number 4 is rinse with water. And the last one is remove the head. Okay, the first one.鱗を通す。尾から頭の方向に向かって取ります。専用の鱗取りを使うと簡単ですが、ないの場合は包丁の背を使って身を傷つけないように取ります。So we will scrape from the tail toward the head. Specialized tool is easy, but if unavailable, use the back of a knife and taking not to damage the flesh. So that's how we remove the scales.おころを通す。Next one is エラを通る。魚の腹の上に引きし、腹蓋を開き、包丁の刃先を入れ、腹と身のつながり部分を切り離します。反対側も同じように切り、エラを引っ掛けるようにして引き出します。So we will lay the fish on its belly, open the gill cover, insert the knife tip to cut the connection between the gill and the body. And we repeat on the other side, then hook and pull out the gills. Okay, エラを取る。The next step is 内臓を取り出す。Remove the internal organs. 切り身にする場合、we have two cases andお菓子付きの場合。So, in the 切り身にする場合、エラのところから腹のところまでまっすぐに切り、腹を開いて内臓をかき出します。So, we'll cut straight from the gills down to the belly. Open the stomach and scrape out the internal organs. So, that's how we remove the internal organs.So the next one is おからし付きの場合、魚の表に切り込むが見えないように胸びれの下を切り込み、内臓を出します。So we will make a cake under the pectoral fin on the backside and remove the internal organs. So two cases and remove the internal organs. So the number 4 is 水洗い。手早く用水で洗い流し、水気をしっかり拭き取ります。So we will rinse quickly under the running water, then wipe away all the moisture fully. So that's how we rinse the water. The next one, we will remove the head. 頭を取る。腹びれの後ろの付け根から胸びれの後ろまで斜めに中骨まで包丁を入れます。裏返しにして同様に中骨ごと頭を通します。So we would cut diagonally from the behind of pelvic fin to behind the pectoral fin. We were cutting down to the center ball so that we have removed the head. So we already know how to pre-process the seafood and the meat. The next one we will learn about note on cooking method. 各調理方法に関する注意点。So the first one, what is cooking? Cooking.or 調理とは食材に手を加え衛生的で安全なものにする。味が香り、口触りを良くして美味しいものにすることです。美味しい料理をタイミングよく提供するために調理の手順を考えて効率よく作業することが大切です。食材を無駄なく使用し、水やヤスなどのエネルギーの節約も考えながら調理計画を立て作業しましょう。So the cooking is the act of handling ingredients to making them sanitary and safe and to make them delicious by improving their flavor, aroma, and texture. And to serve the delicious dishes with good timing, it's important to think about the cooking, positive, and cook efficiency. So let's use ingredients without waste and plan your cooking while considering saving energy, such as the water and the gas. So the next one, we will know about the cooking method. So there are two things. The first one is kanetsuchori. It means using heat when cooking. 煮る、揚げる、焼く、炒めるなどを熱を加えて安全に美味しく食すことができる状態にします。消化吸収を良くし、栄養を高める効果もあります。So heating or cooking is the process of adding heat by methods such as boiling, simmering, dipping, grilling, broiling, or stir-frying to making fruit into a safe and delicious state for eating. It also has the effect on improving digestion and absorption and increasing nutrient value. About kanetsuchori, we have yuderu, niru, ageru, yaku, itameru, and musu. So the first one is about yuderu. It means boiling. 大量の水または熱湯の中で加熱します。Okay, boiling means heat in a large amount of water or boiling water. Next one is niru. 調味料の入って煮汁やだし汁で加熱します。Okay, swimming or niru means heat in a seasonal broth, 煮汁、だし汁。Next one is 揚げる。高温、大量の油で加熱します。食品の水分が減少し、油を吸収します。So deep frying means heat with a high temperature and a large amount of oil. The moisture in the food decreases and it absorbs the oil. Okay, 焼く。焼く means 食品をあんまり動かさず、中までじっくり火を通します。So the 焼く means grilling or broiling. It means cooking full until the inside is done without moving the food too much. Next one is 炒める。高温、少量を用いて攪拌しながら短時間で加熱します。複数の食材を入れると熱の通りが悪い食材から先に入れて熱の入り具合を均等にします。So stir frying or 炒める means heat with the high heat and a small amount of oil, stirring quickly for a short time. And when using multiple ingredients, first add the ingredients that are slow to cook to ensure them cook evenly. And the last one is 蒸す。蒸し器やせいろなどを使って水蒸気で加熱します。蒸す means steaming, and it means heat with the steam, a water vapor, using a steamer or a bamboo basket. It means せいろ. Okay, so that's all about the heating or the cooking method. Next one, we will learn about some references about the 油の劣化. It means the oil deterioration. Okay, so 揚げ物を揚げ続けると油が酸化され、色や香りが悪くなり、粘りが増しています。そのため、油の表面には持続性の泡立ちが起こるようになります。風存物が混じると酸化が進むので、揚げかすにはこまめにつく。油の劣化を防ぐために以下の点に注意します。So when you deep frying the food, the oil gets dioxized and the color and the aroma become poor. And when stickiness increases, because of this, a persistent foaming starts to occur on the surface of oil. So the impurities will mix in and advance the oxidant, scoop out the fried batter bits. And to prevent the oil deterioration, pay attention to the following point. 空気になる。べくさらさないこと。Exposing it to air as much as possible. Next one is 長時間の加熱を避けること。We avoid heating it for a long time. The number 3 is 直射日光に当てないこと。Is do not expose it to direct sunlight. And the last one is 不純物を混ぜないこと。Do not mix in impurities. So that all the things we have to pay attention to the oil deterioration. Okay, the next one we will learn about another method, another cooking method. is a 非加熱調理。非加熱調理 means non-heating cooking method. The first one is 熱を加えずに行う調理方法で So non-heating cooking methods are those performed without adding heat. 混合や攪拌、冷却などがあります。So such as mixing, stirring, and cooling. 加熱調理では放射汚染、二次汚染のリスクが高いので So in non-heating cooking, the risk of cross-contamination and secondary contamination is high. So 衛生管理での注意事項は確実に守ることが大切です。So it's crucial to strictly follow the precautions for hygiene management. So the next one we will learn about the two methods. What is the definition of these two? So the first one is 混合 or 攪拌 mixing or stirring 2種類以上の食品を成分を均一にすることです。2種類以上の食品が成分を均一にすることです。So it means make two or more types of food or ingredients uniform. The second one is 冷却 means cooling. This one means cool. Okay, it means 食品の温度を下げるための調理を言います。It refers to the process of reducing the temperature of the food. Okay, so that's 冷却. So the next one will come to the 注意事項. Some precaution of this cooking method. 手で揚がれるときは手をよく洗って後に使い捨て手袋を着用します。So when mixing with your hands, wear disposable glove after fully washing your hand. Okay, the first one is wash your hand and the number one is wear the glove. Then the last one is mixing with your hand. Okay, the next one is 水盤やドリンクで泡えるときは洗浄済みのものを使います。So when mixing with cooking chopstick or tongue, use one that have been washed. So that means we have to wash the chopstick. The last one is チードするボウルなどはこの壺洗浄済みのものを使います。So it's quite the same, like use a bowl or another equipment that have been washed or sterilized each time. Okay, that's absolutely true. The last one is 専用するボウルなどは So the last one is ちょっと違うね。なんか本を見てね。完成品を保存するときはラップして冷蔵庫で保存します。So when storing finishing product, cover them with a plastic wrap and store them in the refrigerator. So that's all. Okay, so we also have some references doing following frozen food. The first one is 刺身用な生息用冷凍魚介類は組織の破壊や汁の流出は起きないようになるべく低温で時間をかけ解凍します。So the frozen seafood intended for raw consumption, such as the sashimi, should be thawed slowly at the lowest possible temperature. So this prevents the destruction of tissue and the leakage of liquid, the drip loss. So next one is 当月前未加熱の冷凍食品や衣をつけたフライなどの惣菜の半製品が凍ったまま焼いたり蒸したり揚げたりするほか、電子レンジによる解凍や加熱調理を行うんです。So partially preparation from frozen food like unheated frozen meals, or breaded items such as the fries can be cooked directly from frozen by grilling, steaming, or deep frying. Alternatively, they can be drawn and cooked using a microwave. So the last one would be 野菜や果実の多くは冷凍により新鮮な歯触りを失います。特に青菜類は色を保持するため、ブランジングといってごく短時間に60度以上の熱を加え、酵素を復活されなければならないため、生息用の冷凍品というものがありません。So most vegetable and fruits lose its fresh texture when frozen. So in particularly, leafy green vegetables must undergo blanching. It means a process of applying heat over 60 degrees Celsius for a very short time to inactive enzyme and preserve the color. So for this reason, there's no frozen vegetable product intended to be eaten raw. So that's some references regarding the following frozen. The next one we will learn about 調理計画について regarding the cooking plan. Okay. 調理計画を作成することは次に何をしなければならないか、何のためにその作業をするのか、明確化し、作業の効率化及び料理の品質を維持することができます。So creating a cooking plan have to clarify what needs to be done next and the purpose of the work. This will improve the work efficiencies and help maintaining the quality of the food. Okay, so generally now. 一般的には調理マニュアルといったもので調理スタッフは厨房での業務について自ら学び、計画を行うことができるようにします。So generally, this plan is formatted as the cooking manner, which allows the cooking staff to independently learn and confirm the kitchen procedure. So the 重いな内容 the main part of this is 食材の仕入れ、管理方法 It means procedure and management the method for ingredients. So the next one is 調理工程. 調理工程 includes 下処理、調理、盛り付け手順など. So the cooking process includes preparation, cooking, and plating procedures. The next one is 調合機器や調理器具の扱い方、手入れなど. It means handling and maintenance of the kitchen equipment and utensils. And the last one is 労働安全に関すること and the mattering concerning labor safety. So that's how we create a plan. Next one we will learn about 調理器、備品などに関する注意点. It means cooking equipment, tools, and supplier. Number one is 調理機器について about the cooking equipment. So the first one is 重いな熱機器 the main heating equipment. 自動温度調熱機能がついているものは設定温度と実際の温度が一致しているか非接触温度計で確認します。Okay, so for equipment with alternative temperature control functions, please check with a non-contact thermometer to see if the set temperature matches the actual temperature. Okay, so first one we will learn about gas range or the 中華ガスレンジ. ガスを使うときは必ず換気扇窓をしてください。換気が不自由だと一酸化炭素中毒を起こす恐れがあり、最悪の場合、死亡事故に至ることがあります。So the gas range or Chinese gas range. When using gas, you must always ventilate. It means use the all-six fan and open the window. If the poor ventilation can lead to the risk of carbon monoxide poisoning. And in the worst place, it can cause death. The next one is steam convection. Okay, it means steam convection oven. 庫内の温度を下げ、電源を切ったから掃除を行ってください. So please alter the temperature inside the oven and turn off the power before cleaning. 機器に自動洗浄などの機能がついている際は説明書に従って使用してください。And if the equipment has a function like automatic cleaning, please use it according to the instruction. 加熱調理直後の庫内には高温の水気が充満しており、急に扉を開けることで手や顔に火傷をすることのないように注意が必要です。So immediately after cooking, the oven is filled with the high temperature steam. Care is necessary to avoid burning your hand or the face by suddenly opening a door. The last one is fryer. フライヤーの油の酸化値が正常が確認してください. So please check the acid value less than 3.0 of the fryer oil is normal. AVG3.0 以上であればその日の営業終了時に油を交換してください. So if the AV value is 3.0 or higher, you should change the oil when the business day ends. So the next one is some other precautions. So the next one is その他の注意点. 蒸し器の蒸気がすべて正常に上がっているか確認してください. Okay, we will check if the steam is rising normally from the all parts of the steamer.
湯どめん機の湯の温度がほぼ100度になっているか
確認してください。So we will check if the water temperature in the noodle boil is close to 100 degrees Celsius. The next one is グリドル、グリジェング板の
端と中央部の温度を測り、蓋が10度以上ある場合は、
ガスバーナーあるいは設定温度を調整してください。So measure the temperature of the griddle or tilling braising pan at the edge and the center. If the difference is 10 degrees Celsius or more, please adjust the gas burner or the set temperature.
立体式炊飯器、卓上炊飯器、
炊き上がったライスは
金皿、
試食してください。You must always taste the cooked rice from the last scale or the countertop rice cooker. 異常がある場合は提供しないんで、オーダースタップするなどの対応をとってください。So if there is an issue or an abnormality, you should stop reserving it and stop taking order of it.
Next one is 焼き物機の中に焼きガスが封着していないか確認してください。
火力にムラがないか確認してください。We will check that there's not a lot of burns recite stocked inside the broiler reel and check that the heat is even. ジェットオーブンのベルトに汚れや焼きガスが封着していないか確認し、焼き上がり正常が確認してください。We will check that the conveyor belt of the jet oven doesn't have any dirt or burn reside on it and check the finished cooking condition is normal.
Okay, the last one is 回転釜で
調理したものが正常に出来上がっているか確認してください。We will check the food cooked in the tipping and royalty kettle is done properly or normally. Okay, so that's all the注意 thing about cooking equipments and tools and suppliers. So it's all about the heating equipment. Next one we will learn about 主な冷気機。The main refrigerator. Okay, 食品の保存、完築、冷却が必要な食品について、急速冷凍などを行いです。So, the refrigerant equipment is used for storing food and for rapid cooling of the food that needs to be cooler after heating. So, there's many types of it, including fridge freezer, under-counter fridge freezer, display fridge, and walk-in cold rooms. Okay, the first one we will learn about 扉。時計、扉パンキ。扉下部は
雑菌のつきやすいところ、掃除して常に清潔にしてください。
So the door, the handling, the door gasket, and the bottom of the door are the places when the bacteria easily grow. So please keep them clean and by cleaning regularly. The next one is 扉パンキンに
破損がないか、ガスなどで泳げていないか
確認してください。So we check the door baskets for any damage and if they are dirty with mold and stains. Next one is 冷却掃除の周りに油やホコリで汚れていないか確認してください。We will check the area around the cooling unit to make sure it's not dirt with oil or dust.
粉の棚などを取り外し、背面など隅水まで掃除
してください。食材ガスが残っていないか確認してください。We will remove the shells inside the unit and clean all the way to the back and the corners. Check that there's no food or scrap left. The next one is 製
氷皿にゴミが虫の死骸がないか確認してください。
We will check the ice tray for any rust or dead insects. また、氷用
スコップは製氷皿が長氷ケースの
外に衛生的に保管されていることを確認してください。スコップは
風特定多層が触れるものなので、菌の付着が多いです。
So make sure the ice scoop is stored hygienically outside the ice tray or ice storage container. The scoop is often touched by many people, so it have many germs. Next one is 思い出洗浄 or the 消毒機器 about the cooking utensils and the supplies. Okay, so this equipment is used to wash the cooking utensils and the dishes. 調理器具が食器がすき家などを洗浄します。食材の回転数が飲食店の売り上げに直結するため、
Since the turnover rate of the dish is directly linked to the restaurant sales, トップラップなく洗浄機器を使用することが重要なポイントとなります。So it's important for it to use a washing machine without any trouble. Okay, so there are many types of washing machines. Yeah, washing machine, dishwasher, small washer, dove type washer, conveyor type washer. Many types, right? So the next one, we will check 確認して to the inside of the washing machine 洗浄機内 and also check the condition of the work table, racks, and the hot water supply 作業台ラップなどの製品 and キュート That's how we check. And the next one is 洗浄剤類は補充されているか確認してください We check if the degrees are refilled and 洗浄温度は60度から70度が基本です So washing temperature is basically 60 to 70 degrees Celsius. And すすぎ温度が80度から90度が基準です。The rinsing temperature is basically 80 to 90%. Okay, we have to remember two of this about the 洗浄 and 気度機器 Next one, we will learn about the 調理器具 or the 火瓶について。The main washing or sanitizing equipment 基本的な調理を行うときに欠かさない器具には包丁、まな板、容器関係、フライパン、鍋などがあります。これらは食材が直接触れるため清潔に保つことが必要です。Okay, so essential tools for basic cooking includes knife, cutting board, containers, frying pan, and pot. Since these directly touch the food, it is necessary to keep them clean. Okay, so the first one is about hojo or hojo and the manaita, the knife and cutting board. Hojo およびまな板は肉用、野菜用、下処理用などに分類し、使い分けてください。So the knife and the cutting board should be classified and used separately for the meat, vegetable, and preparation. Okay, next one is 使用後の包丁と炒まなは使用したらすぐに洗浄します。So the knife and cutting boards must be washed immediately after use. 高性能包丁が錆びやすいので steep knife especially can wash easily. 洗浄後、しっかり水気を振り取ります。So we have to wipe off the water fully after washing. 保管の際にアルコールをかけた場合、蒸発すると水分が残りますので、清潔なペーパーで水気を振り取ってください。So if you spray the alcohol on them before storing, the water may remain after alcohol preparation. So wipe off the moisture with a clean paper towel. 包丁の切れ味が落ちたと感じたら、こまめに研ぐようにしてください。So when you feel the knife sharpness have decreased, sharpen it regularly.